In the following crime scene, we have a dead princess named Belle. She's been fatally shot and has bled to death. Belle was pronounced dead on the site of the scene. The weapon used was then taken by the authorities to be analyzed through fingerprinting analysis. The victim, Belle, along with the princesses Cinderella, Cinderella's mother, Jasmine, and Sleeping Beauty are all diploid organisms who contain DNA. A single DNA sample was taken from each of the suspects who are believed to have shot the victim out of jealousy and envy. The evidence from the murder weapon was then amplified for two different loci. We will now examine VNTR locus 1. Here is our unknown piece of DNA evidence, and we'll start with the victim, Belle. We see that neither of her alleles match up with the DNA evidence. And we move on to suspect 1, Cinderella. We see that one of her alleles here matches up to neither one of the DNA alleles of the evidence, and we see that the second allele of Cinderella also does not match. So Cinderella nor Belle could have been the killers. And then we have suspect 2, Jasmine, and we take a look at her allele here, which matches up with the DNA evidence, and the second allele also matches up with the allele here on the DNA evidence. So Jasmine is a potential killer. Next we move to Sleeping Beauty, whose alleles here and here match up to the DNA evidence. Both Jasmine and Sleeping Beauty are potential killers. Next we look at Cinderella's mom. She has an allele here that does not match up, and she has her other allele here that also does not match up. So only Jasmine and Sleeping Beauty are possible killers. Look at VNTR locus 2. We'll start with the victim, Belle. We see that neither her alleles will match up to the DNA evidence, so she could have not caused her own death. We will move on to Cinderella. We see that one of her alleles matches up to the DNA evidence. Let's see if the other one does. The other one does not match up, so we can rule out Cinderella. She could not be the killer in either locus 2 or locus 1. And next we'll move to Jasmine. She has one allele that matches up to the DNA evidence, and her other allele also matches up to the DNA evidence. So Jasmine could still be the potential killer. Let's move on to Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty has one allele here that does not match up, and her second allele also does not match up to DNA evidence. So we can rule out Sleeping Beauty. She could not be the killer. Next, we'll look at Cinderella's mom. She has one allele that matches up to DNA evidence, and the other allele also matches up to the DNA evidence, but we know from locus 1 earlier that her alleles did not match up to the DNA evidence, so she could not be the killer in this case because she didn't match at all loci. We also will notice that Cinderella's mom matches with one allele with Cinderella because she's a biological mother, and Cinderella's second allele would not be the same allele as her mother's because she inherited one allele from her mother and one from her dad. The only princess to have matched the DNA evidence at all loci was Princess Jasmine. This makes her the responsible and guilty one.